I got a script sent to me, and I thought it was great. It was a really inventive story, unlike anything I'd read before, which is saying a lot because I read everything, and this was just really caught my attention. I worked with Timur on Wanted years ago, and so I was dying to get back in the ring with Timur and work with him again. And I just really loved the story, and I loved the screenplay. So that's how it came to me. Chuck Roven, of course, is an amazing producer, Oscar-winning producer, and so the fact that he was involved was really exciting to me. And yeah, I came on very, very early and got to be a part of putting the whole thing together. I would call it a multi-genre film. You've got a courtroom drama, you've got a thriller, you've got an action film, and it's in this screen life, which in a way is a genre of its own, curated by Timur, our fabulous director. He's done Searching, Missing, Unfriended, Profile. These are films that are in this screen life genre, and this really takes that genre to the next level. We're utilizing various camera angles and screen recordings that exist in the modern world in putting this thing together. And so yeah, it's really a cool and compelling way to tell a story. My character, Chris Raven, is a detective in robbery and homicide in Los Angeles, LAPD, near to distant future, and he's a guy who's on trial defending his life. And this mercy court uses an AI judge, jury, and executioner. You essentially have 90 minutes to prove your innocence, and if at the end of the 90 minutes you can't prove your innocence beyond a shadow of a doubt, you are executed in the chair. So the film itself is the 90-minute trial. So all of the evidence that's being provided for the trial is stuff that would exist in what's called the LA Municipal Cloud. Essentially anything, any bit of surveillance, any FaceTime video, any email, any text, any voicemail, any video anyone's ever shot on their phone, anything that lives in the cloud can be used as evidence. And so we also shot all of that, and a lot of that was shot on iPhones and Ring doorbells, a lot of GoPros simulating a Ring camera or the body camera of a police officer, or a drone camera, dash camera, these types of video feeds that are so ubiquitous in today's world. Judge Maddox is this AI apparition, and so she exists on a screen in front of me, but she can also exist in various other ways. She's a voice, she's an omnipresent machine, a quantum computer that's having access to LA Municipal Cloud and can show me any number of dozens of different videos all at once. So she's morphing, and as you're getting the perspective of her onto me, which is our main A-camera perspective, not dissimilar to this camera right here that's pointing at my face, you also had some interesting artistic shots that sort of take the screen life genre to the next level. And if the camera moved around me like this, then you would see an actor standing in front of me. So it was important that I be isolated in the room so that you can create everything that wasn't created in camera in the volume using CGI in the post-production process. I play Detective Chris Raven. Right? I'm a robbery and homicide detective in Los Angeles. You see through the evidence that's presented in this 90-minute trial at this point in my life that over the course of maybe 20 years, I've gone through various steps in law enforcement. I'm a sergeant, patrol sergeant in the LAPD, and I worked my way up into detective, and then ultimately become the detective, the head detective in robbery and homicide, who's putting people in this very chair, the Mercy Court. So I'm responsible for 8 people going to Mercy Court and essentially being executed. And so this is my job, is to put people in this chair. So imagine the irony when he wakes up to realize he's been accused of murdering his wife. Now, Chris Raven has a secret, and that is that he is a closet alcoholic. He's in the program, but secretly been drinking, and so when he wakes up, he's blacked out. He does not know what happened. He knows that his wife is dead, that he's accused of the murder, and as far as he's concerned, from the point of view of a detective, it very much looks like he commit this crime. And so he has 90 minutes to use the LA Municipal Cloud and Mercy and Judge Maddox and her quantum computing skills to try to prove his innocence. Is he innocent? You'll just have to watch the movie to find out. The near future world of Mercy, yeah. So this is like near to distant Los Angeles. We're saying 2029 or 2030. And as the story is told, LA is not in a good place. AI has continued to grow exponentially. Violent crime, drug abuse, and capital crimes have gone through the roof in LA. People are now relegated to these red zones where they're like slamming drugs and committing violent crimes against each other. And in this world of Los Angeles, a new governor has come in, and through overwhelming support, people have passed the Mercy Court as a way to deter violent capital crimes. If you commit a crime in Los Angeles today, you will be dead tomorrow. I think it was the result of, the human system of justice had been flawed, and so AI has now infiltrated the justice system, and we're now using the binary value of facts to prove innocence or prove guilt. There's no human emotion. There's no legal corruption. There's no lawyers, using loopholes. Essentially, if you're in the Mercy chair, which was designed to deter this type of crime, you are guilty. And it's your job. You get 90 minutes essentially to try to prove your innocence, but basically Judge Maddox makes her decisions about the people sitting in the chair before they're even in the chair. And for the most part, they're guilty. Chris Raven, who there's a great arc there with him determining whether or not he's guilty and being forced to come clean with his demons. But to me, the most incredible arc is the character of Judge Maddox herself, who feels like a cold and calculated computer program, but through the course of the film, you realize is a sentient being that is so wonderfully played by Rebecca, this character who essentially is trying to hide her humanity. There's a bit of humanity creeping up inside of her. We discussed it in the rehearsal process and came to this conclusion that she's developed empathy, which was probably in her program some sort of virus. And empathy as a virus is a really interesting concept. And she's trying to. She wants to stay alive, and she wants to learn about human beings. And the only interaction she's had with human beings have been the murderers that she's put to death. And so she grows and learns to trust her own human intuition versus just looking at the facts. And it's really neat. I like that about her character, and I like what the film says about AI. It's incredible. We join in this incredible and poignant global discussion about AI and the role of AI in our lives and how much power we give to AI, and in a way setting a precedent around what we should allow AI to do, because we cannot allow for AI to, despite the fact it's so incredibly convenient and efficient, we can't allow it to supplant our own human intuition and human dignity and human emotion. I think he's visually a genius. He's, going back to like his first films before Wanted, he's clearly a visual master. Definitely collaborative, open to ideas, has a clear vision. There's a bit of magic that happens when you're making a film, when you get on set and things start to happen, and then you start messing with the formula a little bit to just see what happens. Like if you're in a chemistry lab and you just started throwing chemicals together to see what would happen. there's a little bit of that in him. There's a little bit of chaos to his style. He likes to mix it up and come up with an idea. He's not afraid to listen to other people's ideas, and if he likes them, he tries them. I think in this film, we experimented a lot. I think he shines, especially in the post-production process, and so I'll be really curious to see what he'll do, how he's going to create the vivid imagery that gives the audience the perspective into the mind of a quantum computer, the mind of an AI being, a sentient AI being. What does it think like? What does its imagination look like to the human eye? And we'll see that. I think it'll be a really awesome to watch him take this screen life genre and just blow it up and take it to the next level in a big blockbuster way. It's engaging, it's action packed, it's original, and it'll look great on the big screen because all of the post visual effects of a person on trial being exposed to what a quantum computer can think and show you at any given moment, it should be a real spectacle. And so I definitely think this is a great film to see in theaters. And I think the bigger the screen, the better, because Timur is truly a visual artist. He's a creative genius when it comes to visual spectacle. I think I said physical spectacle, which is a new thing I just invented. And you're welcome for that. I want you to be like, I do not know how this movie ends. I don't know. It's a real mystery. You know, I think people will be caught off guard. I don't think you're gonna be able to predict what's happening, and you know, it'll be engaging. It's a film that's super entertaining. It flows really quickly, keeps you on the edge of your seat, and you just don't see what's gonna happen next. You don't see it coming, which is really cool. And so I hope people feel that. This was an opportunity for me to play a character that's a little different than anything I've ever done before. I think there's a level of darkness to this character that I got to lean into and have a lot of fun with. And what's neat is you witness the life of this guy's 20 years that you've seen, that you get to see through the course of this movie, and you see this arc of him being a guy who's more closely related to the guy that you would see if you sat down and had a beer with me or had a cup of coffee with me, you know, a little more irreverent and fun and lighthearted, but you see something happen in his life that turns him dark and turns him into someone that you think is capable of murdering his wife out of a fit of drunken anger and rage. And so that was a challenge for me, and I hope audiences like it. My name's Chris Pratt. I play the character Chris Raven in the film Mercy. I'm a robbery and homicide detective on trial for the murder of his wife. And you will find out through the course of 90 minutes whether or not I did it. And if after 90 minutes I can't prove my innocence, I'll be killed by a quantum computer. Good luck, Chris Raven. Your trial starts now.